He was a billionaire with no family, no ties, and no reason to look back. Until one night, he received a phone call that shattered everything. "Dad, come get me," the child's voice begged. But Ethan Cross had no children. And the voice? It sounded exactly like his younger brother, who died in a fire 30 years ago. What he discovered next would lead him into a world of secrets, science, and a bond even death couldn't erase. Ethan Cross, a billionaire tech mogul, stood in his luxurious office on the 78th floor of Crosstech Tower, overseeing the final steps of a major $400 million merger. Everything in his world was about precision, power, and control. But in the middle of a normal evening, his black satellite phone, an emergency line locked in a case, began to ring. He froze. That line was reserved for only two people, his private head of security and someone long dead. Ethan answered it, confused. What he heard made his blood run cold. "Dad, come get me. They won't let me go." A child's voice, panicked, familiar. Ethan stood silent, heart pounding. "Who is this?" he asked sharply. The voice responded, trembling. "It's me, Adam." The name hit him like a punch to the gut. Adam was his younger brother who died in a fire over 30 years ago. The call ended. No number, no trace. But the voice, it had been real. The memory rushed in. A burning orphanage, flashing lights, the screams. Ethan and Adam had grown up in the foster system, forgotten by the world. One rainy night, a fire tore through their home. Ethan was dragged out by firefighters, but Adam was never found. Weeks later, Ethan was adopted into a wealthy family, and he was told Adam had died. Over the years, he buried the pain beneath business empires, global influence, and icy logic. But now hearing Adam's voice, the same soft tone, the slight stutter, shattered every wall he'd built. Driven by fear and hope, he reached out to Lara Quinn, an ex-CIA cyber analyst who owed him a favor. When Lara traced the satellite signal, it led to a decommissioned military genetics lab in Utah, Atlas Genetics. It had been marked inactive for a decade, yet the data showed signs of recent activity. Something wasn't right. Ethan chartered his private jet. If Adam was somehow alive, he wasn't going to leave him again. Under the cover of darkness, Ethan and Lara infiltrated the cold, snow-blanketed facility in the mountains. What they found inside was not abandoned. It was humming with hidden life. Rows of cryogenic tanks, computers filled with genetic sequencing logs, and eerie test subjects in deep sleep lined the halls. Eventually, they reached a secure chamber labeled Prototype A10. Inside was a boy, barefoot, confused, and no older than 10. Ethan's breath caught. He had Adam's eyes, his face, even the small mole under his left eye. "Dad," the boy said softly. "You came." Ethan staggered back. The resemblance was uncanny, but this child hadn't aged in 30 years. Just then, armed guards burst in, led by Dr. Hammond, the cold-faced scientist who oversaw the facility. He revealed the truth. The boy was not born, but made. Using old DNA and preserved neural scans from the orphanage, they had built Subject A10, a memory clone, the only one to survive. Hammond called him a miracle of memory reconstruction. Ethan didn't care. Clone or not, the boy was Adam to him. When Ethan insisted on taking the boy with him, Dr. Hammond objected. "He's property, government prototype. You can't leave with him." But Ethan was already holding the boy's hand, ready to fight. Suddenly, warning lights flashed across the facility. Lara had triggered a lockdown bypass, setting off the self-destruct failsafe. Sirens blared. "Facility destruction in 5 minutes," an automated voice announced. The lab descended into chaos. Ethan carried the boy through flame-lit corridors, dodging guards and locked doors. Lara guided them with a hacked floor map on her tablet. Bullets flew. Alarms screamed. Ethan was grazed on his shoulder, but didn't stop running. They reached the surface as a black helicopter hovered above the snow-covered landing pad. Ethan, Lara, and the boy climbed aboard just as the entire building erupted into flames. From the sky, the Atlas Genetics Lab collapsed into itself, burying secrets that were never meant to be found. Safe in Ethan's countryside estate days later, The boy sat quietly in front of the fireplace, flipping through books, eating ice cream, a child in every sense. But something weighed on him. Am I real? He asked Ethan one night. Or just a science project? Ethan knelt beside him, putting a hand on his shoulder. You are real to me. You have his voice, his memories, maybe even his soul. You may have been created, but what matters is who you are now. The boy smiled faintly. You came back, like you promised. That night, as dawn painted the lake in gold, Ethan and the boy walked together across the field. A billionaire who thought he had no family, and a boy who never truly had a chance. Whether by fate, science, or something in between, Ethan had his brother back. And this time, he would never let go.